just happen. It did. And give the Blues credit. They didn't fold. They fought through to that second overtime. But that's the roller coaster ride that we are involved in sports, right? The highs are stratospherically high. The lows are, Grand Canyon deep low. But that's why we ride the ride, right? It's the thrill of the journey. The point's not to arrive. It's to enjoy the ride. And I hope that, again, as a very casual Blues fan, I really enjoyed the ride. I'm proud to be a St. Louis, and I'm proud of what they accomplished. And I hope the fans will think more about what they did than what didn't happen, because it was an incredible ride for them in 2025.
Chip, that's well said. And I'll give you something else. And with all respect to John Buccigross and Sean McDonough and Kenny Albert and our dear friend Darren Pang and so many people involved in national and, international coverage of hockey, what a job our local crew does. John Kelly, Jamie Rivers, all of their reporters, all of their people behind the scenes. FanDuel Sports Network Midwest absolutely crushed this coverage of the first round series, Chip.
Yeah, they're amazing. John and Jamie are tremendous. Everybody loves Alexa and the fantastic work she does with Bernie, Scott Warman. I mean, there are countless others I'm forgetting, so I apologize for that. But you're right. That's the beauty of what hockey and what basketball does that I someday hope baseball will do. Nobody knows the teams better than the local announcers, and the payoff for a great season is for the local guys to be able to cover that team in a playoff series. Once the playoffs start for baseball, the local guys are frozen out. That's the downside of the job for us. It goes straight to the networks, and we become spectators and fans too when the games matter most and mean the most and are, quite frankly, the most fun. And I think that fun aspect, that knowledge, that intimate relationship, understanding of what the Blues are about really shine through on FanDuel Sports. And I couldn't be happier for or prouder of my colleagues for a tremendous amount of coverage.
It was really, really good. I mean, I preferred it. And again, no offense to the other broadcasters, but to hear JK and Jamie and everybody giving their spin on everything, and they're very fair. They do a terrific job. I mean, just a phenomenal job. And Chip, working for FanDuel Sports Network Midwest, what a team effort that is. I mean, it's to be able to present gratitude for all the people that are in our ear, that are behind the scenes, that are in the truck. It is a massive effort to put on a sporting event, and you get to do it each and every day. And you get to see, as well as we all do on that crew, what goes on behind the scenes.
Yeah, you're right, Tom. I mean, I think in your job too, the line I use all the time is we stand on the shoulders of giants, and the giants aren't the guys or gals wearing the nice outfits and holding a microphone. The giants are the producers and the directors and the audio and the tape people and the people that get the truck up and running and the folks that work in the booth and in the arena next to the announcers and all their hard work. We're just vessels for what they do. If we're any good behind the mic, it's because the people behind the scenes that are anonymous in so many ways are great. And if we're bad, it's because we with the microphones usually screw up. And you know that with our Cardinals coverage, whether it's Tom, me, or Brian Shapiro, our director and producer, Kim Eberly in the booth, Tim Garcia, Aaron Trowbridge, Karen Manalaplan. I mean, we've got just incredible people that really, really care, and they're passionate. And to your point, I think that's why the local coverage is so much more compelling, because we're all emotionally invested in what happens. When the teams are good, we're having fun. When the team's not good, we're still having fun too, but it's not quite the same, quite obviously. And so for all the folks that do the Blues games, they had a great ride, and I think their passion and their love of the sport and their, shall I say, reason to bring the best possible coverage to great sports fans in our town really shine through all series long.
You have to keep it loose in a long baseball season. And of course, there have been some trying times for the Cardinals, but your broadcast with Brad and Mark Sweeney, I don't want to leave Mark out on this, but your longer relationship with Brad, you guys crack me up, man. I've texted you this before. You guys kill me. I mean, it's fun.
Yeah.
It is fun.
Yeah. Well, thank you. And I think that's the main thing. That's what Harry always said. It's supposed to be fun. And I've worked in places where fun wasn't allowed. It truly was the F word. And I'm grateful that people are willing to welcome Brad's and my silliness into their houses every day. But look, if it's not fun for us, we're not going to make it fun for the audience. And I think that's the whole point. We're there to inform, and it's a serious business. And we're representing an incredible product. But we're there to entertain too. And when things aren't good, there are sponsors who are paying a lot of money to advertise their products on our air, and we're incumbent upon them to do the best we can to help keep the audience by what are these guys going to talk about next, or what silly things going to crack them up, and what the heck does that mean? That's the essence of it. And when you have fun, I think it draws people to the product. And you're right. Are the Cardinals where they want to be right now? Were they last year or the year before? No. But like the Blues, if I can be so bold as to make the parallel, I think the Cardinals are kind of moving on the same trajectory, right? And they've got a lot of young players that are getting a chance to show what they can do and what they're capable of. And you beat a team as good as New York 2 out of 3 times, both in one-run games on your home turf. That says an awful lot. You beat Philly, you beat Houston on your home turf. This is a group of guys that's really passionate and motivated to be good. And we're starting to see roots develop with these players that could be the foundational pieces of the next great Cardinal team. That's the purpose of this year besides winning games. Let's see what they are. Let's see what they aren't, and provide ourselves with an idea of how to proceed going forward. I think that's exciting.
What a game that was. 2 games yesterday. I mean, I am blown away by Michael McGreevy. Now, we saw him in Jupiter, but that was special, what he did yesterday against a really good baseball team.
Yeah, he's a pro. He gets it. He's going to be here sooner rather than later. He understands the business. He understands the numbers game, and that's something he can't control. All he can do is go out and, when called upon, be ready. He showed you that he can do that. The guy's just, I mean, he's a great kid, first and foremost. He was on the caravan with Brad and me this winter, and we really got to know Michael, and we got to see him last year with his parents. He's just engaging. He's super intelligent, super driven. He understands that baseball is a big part of his life, but it's a small part of who he is, and he's willing to let people understand that side of him too, which to me makes him so much more endearing as a person and a player. I think he's got a chance to be a really, really special talent because he's not afraid. And when you think about what the Cardinals are trying to build now with their ball club going forward, you think about the Palantes and the Liberators and the McGreevy's and maybe the Quinn Matthewses of the world, and you've got Sonny Gray here still. And that's not eliminating anybody else, but as you look toward the future, homegrown pitching is what the Cardinals are starting to see percolating and getting to the major league level. A lot of the position players are here, but it's the young pitching that's going to determine the fate of this franchise and how quickly they can turn things around. If you have more guys like McGreevy, I really like our chances of doing it sooner rather than later.
And Gordon Graceffo, my gosh, I mean, that was just special stuff. No doubt about it. Just exploding out of his hand.
Yeah, 97, 99. We were all looking at each other like, where did that come from? It's almost like, Brad Thompson said off air to me, he said, it's like someone talked to him and said, let it eat. And he did. And that was evident. And talking with Mo, who was on the trip to Cincinnati, said, that's been in there. The question is, can he sustain it? He should be able to once he harnesses how to do that by pitching out of the bullpen and learning how to pitch and grow and mature. I mean, people forget 40 years ago, that was the path to the starting rotation in many cases. Guys came up from the minor leagues, pitched in the bullpen, learned how to command their pitches, pitched in different situations, and then when they needed length, if a guy was stretched out to be a starter, he'd get a chance, and if he seized the opportunity, he never came out of the rotation. That's been the case with Liberatore. That's going to be the case with Graceffo, I think. It certainly was the case with McGreevy last night. And, getting back to the old way of doing things is always interesting in this time and era of Major League Baseball. But giving guys a chance to learn on the job by doing that, I think, is a great strategy. And if it works out, fantastic.
It was great yesterday. 5 2/3 scoreless ball for Michael McGreevy. He allows 1 hit. That's it. And walked 1 and struck out 5. And the Cardinals won that ball game, the latter game of that doubleheader, 5-4. Before that, the 6-5 win that got a little crazy at the end, but they got it done. Jojo Romero was able to get some huge outs. He gets Pete Alonso to strike out, but also the bullpen effort has really come to light here when it comes to Kyle Leahy. I mean, holy cow. That's 2 scoreless for Leahy.
Yeah, and that's another one, Tom, that I didn't even mention. He's got stuff. He could be a starter for the Cardinals. He has the stuff. He has the poise. He has the command. He's another guy that's sort of applying his trade in the bullpen. So you think about his role right now, right? He can give you multiple innings. He gets lefties out. He gets righties out. He gets first batters. He attacks. He throws in the mid-90s with really good spin and really good breaking stuff. And more importantly, he knows how to pitch. Again, when you have guys like that in your fold and they come through your system, you then can donate dollars to other areas of help and need. And the next step for the Cardinals, in my humble opinion, is the international market. If the Cardinals can sign some international guys and get them here by casting a wide net, that would be a wonderful way to jumpstart things. And the point I used when Houston was in town, 3 of the last 4 guys that threw no-hitters for the Astros were international free agents who were signed for a combined total of $25,000, right? So you cast a wide net, you take flyers on these guys, and if one of them hits, then your investment has more than paid off. In this world of arbitrage and risk-taking, that's the lowest risk play you have in Major League Baseball. And I'm confident the Cardinals are going to hopefully move in that direction going forward as well, because those are the guys that are difference makers for your organization and your franchise. And the Cardinals, I believe, have 1 international free agent on their 40-man roster, and that's Ivan Herrera. That's not enough. And I think they know that. I think they're working hard to fix that. And I think we'll see the fruits of that coming along in the next couple of years, too.
Sounds like Herrera rejoins this team mid to late week, according to John Mozeliak when I talked to him yesterday. We'll ask Chip Caray about that offense and the Cardinals moving forward. They play tonight against the Pittsburgh Pirates at Busch Stadium. A quick break, back with another segment with Chip Caray. Right after this, you're listening to the Gashouse Gang on KMOX.
Because we have lawyers in all 50 states, I see lots of lawyers' ads. Most seem to be bragging on results, but are they true or misleading? For example, in some cases, a firm may try a case even though the at-fault party has no lawyer, then brag in the ad about their results. My son Matt got one for nearly $50 million, but we never collected one dime. Some lawyers may say they got a result even though they were sitting second chair at a firm like mine, and even though they had little to do with it. Happens all the time. All that glitters is not gold. At Morgan & Morgan, our results are real. Visit forthepeople.com and go to settlements and verdicts to see for yourself what your case may be worth before you hire a law firm. Do your homework. Fact check. It's easy and too important not to. Morgan & Morgan, forthepeople.com.
Injured? Dial pound law or visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Seems everything costs more these days. Gas, groceries, and when's the last time you checked your wireless bill? When it comes to big wireless, if you're staying, you may be overpaying. Switch to Consumer Cellular to get the same fast nationwide coverage without the big wireless bill. Plans start at just $20 a month, and now for a limited time, new customers can get their second month free. Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit a store near you, or consumercellular.com and start saving today. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. Taxes, fees, and other third-party charges will apply. See website for additional details.
Trust Will knows that we'll all eventually need a will. How about right now? Trust Will makes creating your will easy, like while you're lounging on the couch easy. Trust Will is designed by attorneys but customized by you, and all documents are state-specific and secure. Find your plan at trustandwill.com and use offer code RADIO now for 20% off. That's trustandwill.com, offer code RADIO. Trust Will is an online estate planning service. Visit trustandwill.com for details.
Your biggest choice in home restoration is, who do you trust with your home, your most valued asset? Few can match Banner Construction's experience and dedication to excellence. Banner is an elite preferred James Hardie contractor and Pella window specialist. Restoration is a one-time opportunity to have Banner's design team show you architectural options to make your home the neighborhood showcase. Call for a free consultation, 314-569-1050, and have a Banner day.
Meet me at the Muni in Forest Park.
Join the magic this summer at the Muni. Season 107 begins June 16th with Bring It On, the musical, followed by Come From Away, Disney's Frozen, Evita, Dear Evan Hansen, La Cage aux Folles, and Jersey Boys. See all 7 Broadway hits for as low as $126. For tickets, visit muni.org.
Hey guys, Glover here with my friend Mark Cantor at Cantor Injury Law. So as you know, I'm a lawyer, so I take this very seriously. Mark is a great attorney. He has a great team. He is from St. Louis. He is local. Call 314-628-9999 or visit cantorinjurylaw.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be solely based on advertisements. S&L Coin. We buy gold and silver coins, silver and gold jewelry. Also buying gold-filled and silver plates. Before you sell, call S&L. 314-544-3600. 314-544-3600. S&L Coin.
News, talk, cars. 104.1 FM KMOX.
12:22 on the Gashouse Gang. Great to be with Chip Caray, the television voice of the St. Louis Cardinals on FanDuel Sports Network Midwest. One more segment with Chip, and then we go to John Rooney at 12:30. How about that for back-to-back, Chip? A couple of big voices right there.
You finally get a pro on the show at 12:30. I can promise you that. Roon Dog's the best. I love him.
I love it. I picture you all on the road, hanging out, having some coffee, maybe grabbing a bite to eat, and just a special bond with everybody. Ricky, Claves, Ryan Schulte, the engineer, Jim Jackson here in St. Louis, Brad, Mark. I mean, that's fun.
We have a blast. We have a really good time. We've got a great tight-knit group. I will say that Brad and I usually stay out later than the more elderly gentlemen in the group, but that's a story for another time.
Oh, man. Oh, I've had a few with Brad. Yeah, that's yeah.
Yeah, you understand.
That'll happen.
Yeah.
Let me talk about this offense for a minute. Here's the way I see it. I look at this thing in a few categories. You have the young guns that, they're going to give runway. We'll talk about them in just a minute. You have the guys who are off to a tremendous start in Donovan and Nootbaar, and I kind of want to start with them. Donovan, in case people haven't checked right now and looked at some of these stats, he's leading the team in just about every category. I mean, he's hitting a sizzling 339 right now. What a start for Brendan Donovan.
He's been great. He has not deviated from his plan. His hands are very quick. He's lining the ball everywhere. He's not striking out. He's driving in runs. He's hitting lefties well. Matt Carpenter, I think, is the last Cardinals to lead the league in hits. He's got a shot at doing that, and he's playing multiple positions and playing them almost perfect defense. So you're right. Brendan Donovan is one of my favorite people. He's one of my favorite players because he's a ball player. He knows how to play, and he just has an innate sense for me of understanding the situation, understanding his role, and doing his best to execute the right baseball play at the right time. He really is a joy to watch, and maybe the best highlight of the day yesterday, besides Arenado's catch and Victor Scott's great play and Jordan Walker's diving grab, was watching Brendan and Allie and Vivian, their little baby daughter, walk out the ceremonial first pitch before Game 2. That's such a great baseball treasure when you see these guys get to the big leagues and then get married and have children and become stars in their own right. It's really, really rewarding to see that, to see how good a person Brendan Donovan is and the good things that are happening to him.
Yeah, that's a spring training baby right there. That little girl was born last spring training, and that is really special. And you're right. I mean, there are some good players on this team that I think are getting the spotlight and are getting the opportunity to show what they can do. Keep your fingers crossed, but a healthy Lars Nootbaar for 162, let me tell you, I mean, he is special. He's got great athleticism, and we're starting to see that on-base ability really come to fruition.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, we used the comp last night of Brendan Nimmo. Okay, Nimmo for years was the leadoff hitter for the Mets. He'd hit 18 to 20 home runs. He'd score 70, 80, 90 runs. Didn't steal a lot of bases. Played great defensively in the outfield for New York. But now he's moved into the middle of the order where he can be a run producer for the Mets. He's on pace to hit 30 home runs this season. I think Nootbaar has that kind of power. And when you combine that with the on base like Nimmo has, you might see Nootbaar as a guy that could develop into one of those middle of the lineup type hitters for St. Louis, because you have a guy by the name of Victor Scott II, who is the prototypical leadoff guy. When you think of all the Cardinals teams of the 80s that were so great, whether it was Vince Coleman or Willie McGee, guys like that leading off for the Cardinals with his speed, he can have an impact in the very first inning of the game offensively. So to your point, yeah, this is a season where we want to find out what Nootbaar is. He's, health is random, but it's also a skill. And if he can stay healthy for this year, I think we're all excited about the numbers he can put up. And whether he leads off or hits down in the order, plays left or right or center, he's having a super first 6-7 weeks. And obviously we hope that continues.
I think the perfect example of runway is what they've given Victor Scott. Here's the center field job. Take it and run with it. And what have you seen so far in Vic that gets you excited?
Approach and professionalism. Not that he wasn't last year, but when you're up in the big leagues for the first time, you're truly drinking from a fire hose, and I think that was evident. There was a lot that Victor Scott had to learn on the fly, as any young player did. But this kid carries a notebook. He asks all the right questions. He learns and doesn't fail to retain it. He's got unbelievable speed. He's learning what his swing is. He's got plenty of juice. We saw that last night with that rocket double to the gap in right center. He can hit the ball out of the ballpark. but when he's hitting the ball on the line, it's really, really fun to watch. And maybe one of the turning point moments for Victor Scott came in that series against New York, too. The Mets pinched into the corners and dared him to bunt. He bunted and still beat the play at first. That's the sign of a young player who said, you may try to take this away from me, but my skill set is better than how you're going to be able to defend me. And when you play with that kind of confidence, that kind of arrogance, if you will, in a good way, then you've got a guy that's ready to take off. And it's really, really fun watching Victor Scott, who won the job in spring training. And we all wondered, how is this going to translate into big league play with big league pitchers? Well, I think the answer is he's on his way. And if he can keep that up, he's going to have a super, super season for the Cardinals.
I was sad to see Mason Wynn suffer an injury. We'll find out a little bit more about the sprained ankle because he had such a bounce back offensively. And I think he likes that number 2 spot in the order.
Yeah, he's been a difference maker up there, right? He likes sitting at the top of the order, and he's a guy that has that skill set. When he was at his best, Tom, last year, he was hitting the ball on a line to right. He was swinging the bat well with 2 strikes. And when you think of how you compose your lineup, if you want to go left, right, think about the possibility as these guys mature and play together. Victor leading off, Mason hitting second, Donovan third, Arenado fourth. Then you can put Burleson in there. Nootbaar in there. There's a whole lot of fun that Ollie can play with his lineup, alternating left, right, with speed, with power, with contact, with patience. It really has a chance to get your happy mode thinking toward the future and toward the second half of the season for the Cardinals that way.
And then finally, some players are still trying to find it here. I talked to Alec Burleson a couple of weeks ago in the clubhouse, and we started the interview, and he brought it up. I said, how you doing? He goes, well, I'm struggling. And he started talking about some of that. Nice to see him hit a bomb. Boy, you'd love to see Nolan Gorman get a hold of one. I think that would make everybody feel a lot better about what's going on there. It's a growth that has stalled a little bit for Nolan.
Yeah, it's a process. Let's start with Burleson. If you recall last year, Tom, he started almost identically. Same kind of numbers. Not much power in the first month of the season. Then he went off around the first week of May and had one of the best first halves of any Cardinal last year. Hitting a ton of home runs before the All-Star break. He had 1 extra base hit since April 9th before the home run he hit against the Mets. That's not like him. But he, too, is learning the difference between swinging at every pitch or waiting and being patient enough to find the one that you can do real damage on, because he hits the ball so hard. He's got a ton of power. This guy is going to be an extra base hitting machine for the Cardinals. And once he starts to see those kinds of results, I'm sure it'll reinforce. I talked to him after the game last night. So if everybody was worried but me, I knew it was coming. I'm frustrated. I don't want to start slowly, but now he's starting to heat up. Contreras is starting to heat up, and you're right about Gorman. Nolan hasn't had that jumping off point yet. It's in there. We're waiting for it to come. I know he's waiting for it to come. And after he survived the gruesome spiking at second base yesterday, and that was nasty after the game, by the way. Big chunk of skin came out of his index finger. He hung in there and finished the game for St. Louis. And I think we're all confident that Gorman's the kind of guy that, with his power, with his skill set, he's a guy that you, again, give runway to. But we're not quite at the point with any of these young players, Tom, where we're worried about the runway versus results question. That's going to come in the second half of the year. And that's the ultimate test, right, is where are we? What did you do? Because these guys are going to get every chance that they can possibly have to show what they're all about. And we're excited about what that's going to bring.
I love running through these players with you and getting your thoughts. This went by really fast. Before we go, let me get your thoughts on 2 broadcasters, your sons, Chris and Stefan, and how things are going with and is Tristan picking up the mic yet?
Yeah, Tristan's got the iPad at home. He's 16, and we've got you surrounded. We're tougher to get rid of than the common cold. Chris is doing great, having a blast with the A's. Stefan's been doing some podcasting here in St. Louis. I'm excited for him. He's got some interviews, hopefully, for some fill-in stuff this summer. If not, he's going to give it another shot next year. He's just as talented. And the best thing of all for me at the ripe old age of 60 now, I can honestly say I'm not even the best broadcaster in my own family. So I'm really, really proud of all of them. And that includes 16-year-old Tristan. So we're blessed. We're happy. They're thriving. And it's great to see them share the passion for baseball that the whole host of old guys ahead of them have shared for so long.
Well, you're a great dad and broadcaster, and I love spending time with you. And thank you for coming on KMOX today, Chip Caray. You're the best.
Of course, Tom. We'll see you at the ballpark. Appreciate you having me on, and be nice to Rooney.
Oh,
nice
of course. Appreciate it.
He worked 2 games. He worked 2 games yesterday. Make sure he's rested up. Those dulcet tones have to be at their best. We got a big divisional rivalry with the Pirates starting tonight, so he's got to be at his best tonight.
Absolutely. Looking forward to it. Thank you, Chip.
Okay, Tom. See you soon.
Chip Caray with us on KMOX's Gashouse Gang. Let's check the weather, sponsored by Sachs Financial. It's actually lightening up a little bit here in downtown St. Louis. We still have a cloudy sky, 55 degrees. We're going to get up to 60 today. And then tomorrow, after some early fog, 71. And the rest of the forecast looks good, too. Looks like we're going to start getting some nicer days towards the end of the week. And next week looks spectacular, sunny and in the 80s. Right now, it's 55 degrees and cloudy in downtown St. Louis at 12:32. John Rooney is next.
St. Louis, your drive home just got a whole lot better. Introducing Redbird Rush Hour, weeknights at 5. Get the latest local news, up-to-the-minute traffic, and exclusive St. Louis Cardinals insights, all in one power-packed hour. Whether you're stuck in traffic or cruising home, stay informed and stay connected to your city and your team. The Redbird Rush Hour, weeknights at 5 on the voice of the Cardinals, KMOX.
Hi, this is Jeff Sachs at Sachs Financial. Let's tune out the noise a little bit and focus on a retirement plan. If you don't have one or don't know how to get started, find us on our website at saxfinancial.com or retiresafestl.com.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6481. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-6481. That's 800-575-6481. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Don't get lulled into believing the IRS is getting soft. It's just the opposite. Hi, this is Lance Story with the Lance Story Law Firm. We are being told by IRS collection officers that their higher-ups are demanding that they get more aggressive than ever. So don't ignore them any longer. Level up. If you have unfiled returns, unpaid taxes, levies, or liens, call the Lance Story Law Firm today and let us get between you and the IRS. We'll protect your rights, including your right to appeal or even your right to take the IRS to tax court. Remember, IRS problems are legal problems and they need to be handled by an expert attorney team who's done it for decades. So call the Lance Story Law Firm today. We're local. Our office is right here in St. Louis, or visit Lance, DRURY, law.com to schedule your free consultation with your local tax resolution law firm, the Lance Story Law Firm, 314-260-6120.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
At CertaPro Painters, we know that a happy place comes in many colors, like ones that inspire a sense of wonder, or a new flavor that makes life just a little bit sweeter, or one to celebrate those moments that lift you to new heights. We can reawaken any space to make your happy place your home. CertaPro Painters. That's painting happy. Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated. Contractor license and registration information is available at CertaPro.com.
Cards manager Ollie Marble joins the Gashouse Gang every Tuesday at noon. Sponsored by Siteman Cancer Center on the voice of the Cardinals, 104.1 FM, KMOX.
Now, the John Rooney Conversation on KMOX. Sponsored by Missouri Farm Bureau Insurance. We are Missouri Farm Bureau Insurance. And if you're a Missourian, we're for you.
The Gashouse Gang on KMOX. The base is loaded. Strike! 3 call on the outside corner. Wow. Alonso took a step toward first, and Jim Wolf said that's strike 3.
What a great call from John Rooney, who joins us now. Good afternoon, John.
Well, hello, Tom. I just mentioned a moment ago that we can make this very short and easy today. Whatever Chip Caray said, I agree with. So I'll talk to you next time.
Sounds good. No, we covered a lot of ground, but there's a lot I left on the table for you. That's for sure. How about that moment right there? JoJo Romero getting Pete Alonso, the progression of Romero, but just the fact that the Cardinals are able to have a nice key moment against a ferocious Mets team. I think that Mets team is going to win it all. I really do.
It would not surprise me, but they have to keep their pitching healthy, Tom, and we're only in May. And as you keep going to that bullpen time after time after time, and the starters throw so hard and they go after everybody with everything they have, I think it's just a matter of time until all these contenders have injuries. And they'll have to adjust, and the good ones will, and they'll be playing in October. But given the state of the Mets right now, they're the best team that we've seen. Haven't seen the Dodgers yet. And we haven't seen the Padres. We have seen the Phillies, and they're very good. We're going to see them on the next road trip. But no, the New York Mets are quite impressive, and they have very, very few holes.
That's true. And you're going to see the Pirates again tonight. And listeners, hang tight, because in just a little bit, we're going to give you an opportunity to win a 4-pack of tickets to the game tomorrow against the Pirates. John Rooney is with us now. What do you make of the Pirates? And while you're answering that, the NL Central, just in general, where everything stacks up right now?
Well, the Cardinals find themselves ahead of the Pirates, and a little bit of distance between the Cardinals and the last place team. And there's not that much of a difference between the Cardinals and the second place Brewers. And Cincinnati are Brewers above them, and then Cincinnati, and at the top, it's the Cubs. Oh, it's going to be a free-for-all until it's all said and done. I really believe that. And I think the Cardinals are going to improve and get better. And if they don't win the division, they will certainly have something to say about who does. And that's what I like about this team. This team is so much more exciting and fun to watch than what we've seen the last couple of years. And we're going to find out who can play, who can hold up over the long haul. And going up against the Pittsburgh Pirate team, I never feel easy, even with a 4 or 5 run lead late in the game against the Pirates, because they give the Cardinals their best effort every time these two teams play. And Reynolds can hurt you, and so can O'Neal Cruz. He can hurt you, and Brian Hayes has in the past. They have some pieces to their team that make them very competitive. And I know there's a lot of respect between Ollie and Derek Shelton, the two managers of these teams, and they want to beat one another, but they do have a lot of respect for one another. And we always play close competitive games, like that last game in Pittsburgh. Just couldn't get a run across, and the Cardinals only won one game, and the game they won, they beat Paul Skeens. And at the time, it handed him 3 of his 4 career losses. So the Pirates are going to give the Cardinals everything, but I think the Cardinals are going to give everything. They have. They've only been out of a couple of games so far, Tom, and that's what makes it fun to cover this team.
Brian Hayes took a Gold Glove away from Nolan Arenado. I see some effort in Nolan Arenado right now. Are you kidding me with that catch last night in the crowd? Unbelievable. I mean, just unbelievable.
Well, start putting the highlight reel together. He wants the Gold Glove back. He wants the Platinum Glove. He's serious about it. That guy can flat out play third base. He had to go from a shortstop position, basically, the way they were over-shifting for Soto, and go all the way to the sidewall, make the over-the-shoulder basket catch, and then land in the netting and the front row of a family sitting there, and still manage to hang on to the ball somehow. And the plays he makes coming in on a ball and getting to a ball behind third base, veering into foul territory, and throwing as accurately as he does to first base, he's such a pleasure to watch. And he wants that Gold Glove back, I should say, and the Platinum Glove back. He's going to really contend for that, Tom, and it's going to be interesting.
He is so much fun. I remember when he played for the Rockies, and I wanted him to be a Cardinal. I just could not. Anytime the Rockies were in town, I wanted to watch Nolan Arenado play, so I tried to come to the ballpark, and that's how I feel right now. I mean, I know wins and losses come and go, and we're looking at runway for players, and we're concentrating on young players, and that is rightfully so. But this is an opportunity. I'm not worried about the trade deadline right now, or where or when Arenado comes and goes, or if he stays. I just want to appreciate a Hall of Fame talent right here in front of us. That's my focus right now when it comes to Arenado. Don't you think?
Well, that trade deadline is a long way away, and there's a lot of evaluating that needs to be done between now and then. And Nolan Arenado is wearing the birds on the bat. He's here and he's now. And he's giving the Cardinals everything he has. He's done that since the beginning of spring training, and I don't see any difference at all in his approach. And yes, his disappointment about not driving the ball the way he wants, but that's going to come. That's because of lack of effort? No, not with Nolan Arenado. It's hard work, and it's all focused work, and that's the way he's always gone about his business. And what he was able to do in the doubleheader and the way he plays third base, and he's putting the ball in play, but he's going to be driving doubles and home runs. That's what Arenado does when he's on his game, when he's at his best, and we're going to see that. I think plenty before it's all said and done this year.
And on the other side of the diamond, Wilson Contreras is starting to really make a good move here towards finding his timing, it feels, and I think he's played a good first base all season.
Well, Ricky kind of picked up on it the other day, a few walks and being a little more patient at the plate, and then we're seeing him drive the ball the way we did down in Jupiter. He just couldn't miss a pitch down there. And if he made it out, it was a line drive somewhere or a deep fly ball somewhere. It was really interesting to watch him go about his hitting. We know what he can do in the batter's box, but what he's done at first base just blows me away. He's good at digging balls out of the dirt, going into foul territory on pop fouls, and going into short right field along with Brendan Donovan or Nolan Gorman, going after a ball that the right fielder won't be able to get to. And the way he can throw, I just worried how many errors we'd have on throws in the dirt, losing a player like Paul Goldschmidt, who managed to catch almost everything. Well, we haven't had that concern at all because of what Contreras has been doing, and Alec Burleson. Burleson has been fabulous around the bag. He's been able to dive to that hole between first base and second and take a number of hits away already. So when he's not DHing, he's in there at first base, spelling Contreras from a day in the field. And the Cardinals don't really miss much at all defensively, if any.
One more question about an individual, and that would be Miles Mikolas, tonight's starting pitcher. Miles, and you can't throw it out, but if you do throw out the Fenway start, which was a mess, but it happened, he has been really good. They pulled him 77 pitches his last start, if I recall, John. He probably could have given you a little bit more, but they made that decision.
But usually when things go south for Miles, they go south and very fast. And that's something that Oliver and Dusty Blake are very much aware of. And Miles is a very sharp guy. The thing I appreciate about Mikolas, he knows what he wants to do. He knows how he wants to execute. He knows adjustments he has to make because the fastball isn't as lightning as it was. And not that he was throwing 95, 97, 98, but his fastball, it looks a whole lot better when he can land that curveball for a strike, and then an off-speed pitch here and there, and then the fastball looks much quicker when Miles is able to throw strike one, as he did against the Reds with a number of curveballs. This guy's a competitor, and I think younger pitchers will learn a lot from just watching how Miles goes about what he does, his preparation, his thinking, what goes into a start, and I look forward to the start tonight. I really do, just coming off of what he's done. And for that Boston series, I'd like to throw the whole thing out, all three games.
Me too.
Forget them.
John Rooney, the voice of the Cardinals, is with us. One more thing, John. You and your crew, you're so good at what you do. And I think one of the best things that you all do is a pregame segment called Inside the Park. You all sound so in tune together. It's a nice conversation, and I loved the conversation with Al Raboski. What a special moment to be able to honor him with the Cardinals Hall of Fame. And he was emotional talking to you, wasn't he?
Well, what a special person. I enjoyed the times that Al and I worked some radio together. The only problem, Al didn't do play-by-play. And in Pittsburgh, the men's room is somewhere near Philadelphia in that ballpark. And I couldn't get away to get down there and come back. I said, Al, you're going to have to start without me if I can't get back a few times. But he was a big help and a great guy to travel with when he was doing his TV, and then working with us on radio when Ricky was going over doing some games. And what he's done for the Cardinals as a player, as an ambassador, as just a great person. I think the Hall of Fame honor is so well deserved, and it is not being lost on Al Roboski at all. It means the world to him and to his family. And that was a lot of fun. But I got the idea for that segment listening to the post game on KMBR out in San Francisco, because after their home games, they get the TV guys over there with the radio. And I think they do this maybe a night or two, certainly on weekends, on Friday, Saturday, where they kick around what happened during the game. And it's pretty lighthearted. And there are a lot of yucks involved with the analysis of the game. And when I happened to listen a time or two, that's when San Francisco was pretty good back in the day. But I thought, why don't we do something like that? And we can pull in a guest from the opposing team, or if we have an opposing dignitary in the ballpark, somebody happens to be on hand that day, pull them in there and make them a part of it. But if nothing else, Ricky Claves and I can kick things around, and we can hash out what's happened the day before, or what's been going on with the Cardinals, or what's coming up, and talk a little bit about the minor leagues. It's all wide open. And so I think it's kind of a fun segment. I hope the fans enjoy it as much as we do when we put it together.
I love it. The big part of baseball is the broadcast experience, and having that every day, every night during the spring, summer, and fall and inside the park is really a great addition, and it has been for the last few seasons. John Rooney, thank you for the visit. Great to have you, and have a great time tonight at the ballpark.
Okay, I'm sorry I lied. I don't agree with everything Chip said. Since we had to do this segment, I thought I could get out of it today. But
no, you did great. I mean,
it was nice to have Chip on.
Yeah, what a
really
treat.
Nice to have him on today.
What a treat.
He's part of the gang.
He is part of our family.
He's a gas, so he should be on the Gashouse Gang.
You have a great rest of your day. We go Chip and John back to back. That's awesome. Have a good day, John.
All right. Thanks, Tom.
John Rooney with us on KMOX, the Gashouse Gang. All right, here we go. Let's give away 4 tickets to tomorrow night's game. We'll give away to a winner. Let's take caller number 18 at 314-955-1120. 314-955-1120. Frank Ladd is your producer today, and he is going to cycle through those and get to caller number 18. So we'll give him some time to do that. Winners are going to receive a 4-pack of tickets to the game tomorrow night between the Cardinals and the Pirates. And we appreciate it very much. In fact, he's already taking those. 314-955-1120. Back right after this on KMOX.
We are Missouri Farm Bureau Insurance, and we're here for all of life's wins. Like when you get a new car, or new boat, or new driver, or when your son moves out, but your mom moves in, or you find out you're expecting again, or when one rental property turns into 2, then 20, or you realize they're all in Tornado Alley. Life is full of life events, so call your Missouri Farm Bureau Insurance agent or visit mofbinsurance.com to find an agent near you, and we'll make sure you have the right coverage for each of life's wins.
We are Missouri Farm Bureau Insurance, and we're for the people of Missouri, in good times and in bad. We're for Missouri families and Missouri communities. We're for giving back to those communities and lifting people up. And when Missouri weather rips through our state, we're for helping put back the pieces. We're for brighter days and new tomorrows. We are Missouri Farm Bureau Insurance. And if you live in Missouri, we're for you.
There's an old joke about Uncle Sam's new tax short form. The first line says, "How much did you make?" The next line says, "Send it in." Really, not that funny, but that's what a lot of people do in retirement. They take money out of their 401k or IRA and end up sending it in when they pay taxes. Steve All of the All Financial Group invites you to take their tax challenge. What if your current plan included thousands of dollars in unnecessary taxes and fees? Or maybe higher Medicare premiums or a lower Social Security check? What if the savings you realized could allow you to retire early? Wouldn't you want to know about that right now? Take the All Financial Group Tax Challenge and find out. There's no charge. Call Steve today at 636-230-8824. That's 636-230-8824. Or online at yourmoneymattersstl.com.
Investment advisory products and services made available through Impact Partnership Wealth, LLC, IBW, a registered investment advisor. Insurance and annuities offered through Steve All, NPN number 153-07419.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan.
If you've been injured in a car accident, call America's largest injury law firm. For over 35 years, my mission has been to deliver more for our clients, to deliver more for you. If you or anyone in your family has been injured in a car accident, call us now, as the time to file a claim may be limited. Last year, more clients hired Morgan & Morgan than ever before, protecting America, fighting for you. Morgan & Morgan. Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
When you golf in Missouri, the courses are so close, you'll spend more time on the fairway than the freeway. After the back nine, enjoy our world-class dining and distilleries, shops and spas, museums, and more. Find your new golf MO at visitmo.com.
Did you hear? A recent stash of $10 gold Liberty coins from the 1800s has been found. These gorgeous gold coins are as bright and shiny as the day they were struck in the late 1800s, and less than 200 of these gold coins are available. Coin experts are calling this gold find an incredible opportunity. Call 1-800-969-0686, and you are guaranteed a $10 gold Liberty coin minted by the U.S. Mint in the 1800s. But with extremely limited availability, you must call now. These gold Liberty coins from the 1800s are still in uncirculated condition. That is history you can hold in your hand. To learn more, call 1-800-969-0686. Call now, and you'll receive a free American Coin Collector's Bonus Package, a $40 value, free with every order. Call 1-800-969-0686 now to secure your $10 gold Liberty coins dated from the 1800s before they sell out. That's 1-800-969-0686.
When you want a brand new kitchen, there's nothing to it. There's a brand new way to do it. 3-day kitchen and bath.
Marilyn Facer recommends 3-day kitchen and bath.
Working with Dave was an absolute delight. Once everything was scheduled, everything went perfect.
Have you ever had a remodel done before?
About 25 years ago, and it was a nightmare.
Was 3-day kitchen and bath on time?
There was no delays. Everything was on time. All the deadlines were met. Everything came at once.
Would you recommend 3-day kitchen and bath to your friends and neighbors?
I highly recommend them to anybody.
Top quality products and craftsmanship in 3 days or less. Call 3-day kitchen and bath. Always on time as promised, at the price promised, and your job comes with complete satisfaction guarantee. No ifs, ands, or buts. Visit their website at 3daykitchen.com. That's 3daykitchen.com.
3-day kitchen and bath.
Now, back to the Gashouse Gang on your home of the St. Louis Cardinals. 1120 AM, 104.1 FM, KMOX.
Tell you what, it's not often that you have the television voice of the Cardinals followed by the radio voice of the St. Louis Cardinals. Chip Caray and John Rooney were our guests today on the Gashouse Gang. If you missed it, no worries. We're everywhere. We're on podcast form, wherever you get your podcasts, especially Odyssey, KMOX.com. You can also take a look at a video stream that is up right now on YouTube, Facebook, and X, and it'll be replayed so you can watch from there if you want to consume it that way. But thank you to Chip and John for joining us. Congratulations to Kevin in Sullivan, Missouri. He is our winner. He's going to drive into St. Louis for the game tomorrow, the Cardinals and the Pittsburgh Pirates. So he's going to get some Tuesday night tickets. And congratulations to him, because he's going to get to see Paul Skeens, one of the best pitchers in baseball, is going to pitch tomorrow. But Skeens has never beaten the Cardinals. Isn't that crazy? He's 0-3 against the Cardinals. He'll be going up against Matthew Liberatore. He's the scheduled starter tomorrow. So that's a good matchup there. Skeens against Liberatore, the Cardinals and the Pirates. As for tonight, we'll have it for you, 6:45. Matt Pauley has the pregame at 5:50. It's Miles Michaelis throwing that first pitch for St. Louis. Thank you again to Chip and John for joining us. For our producer, Frank Ladd. Tomorrow on the show, Cardinals manager Ollie Marmol, along with Bernie Miklas, Chris Ranji, and me. This is the Gashouse Gang on KMOX.
Still getting around to that fix on your car? You got this. On eBay, you'll find millions of parts guaranteed to fit. Doesn't matter if it's a major engine repair or your first time swapping your windshield wipers. eBay has that part you need, ready to click perfectly into place for changes big and small. Loud or quiet, find all the parts you need at prices you'll love. Guaranteed to fit every time. But you already know that. eBay.